Super Mario Bros. For the NES has got its eye on you, an intense gaze observing every minute motion of your performance. And should you make even the slightest mistake, Super Mario Bros. For the NES will have its whip on you. This game does not play around. When I booted up Super Mario Bros., my list of expectations for the game definitely did not include fear. And yet, fear I felt constantly on my way to rescue Mushroom Kingdom's monarch. Holy It's all a matter of precision and punishment, down to the core of the game, the core of Mario himself jumping. Jumping feels great. Even now, almost 40 years later, I still feel that the movement in Super Mario Bros. Feels great. But it's not quite the same movement as today's Mario. Because in the original Super Mario Bros., pressing the jump button is a real commitment. Pressing the jump button is scary. When Mario is on land, I am in complete control, but when my feet are off the ground, that control is gone, snatched away. All I'm left with is the ability to gently nudge Mario left or right as he sails through the air. I can only make slight adjustments of the established trajectory. Despite how high he can jump, Mario feels heavy here. A far cry from the bird-like grace of airborne Mario in subsequent games. In Super Mario Bros., I found myself making many bad jumps. And when I make a bad jump in Super Mario Bros., I die. Even when I wasn't jumping directly into bottomless pits, I was jumping directly into damage. Hammers, fire, enemies. There is no end to the sources of pain put in front of the goalpost. Turtles hopping at me, Buzzy Beetles in just the wrong place, bullet bills galore, god damn Hammer Brothers, legions upon legions of enemies delicately placed to allow me less and less room to squeeze through as I get further and further into the game. Less room, but always enough room to feasibly get by. Enough room to be considered fair. Except for level 8-3, because whoever designed the Hammer Brothers is an evil, evil person. God, I hate Hammer Brothers. Outside of falling enemies hitting the nastiest 180-degree turnarounds to catch me off guard, the game never really jump scared me with damage sources. It wasn't a matter of patiently inching forward to avoid unseen traps, but instead a matter of pure precision. I would always see the upcoming obstacles. I would know what I'd have to do to make it through, but I took damage regardless, because knowing is not the same as doing. And let me tell you, taking damage in this game is painful. Going from the almighty Fire Mario straight to Small Mario from one minor mistake is miserable. That's a certified smile to frown speedrun right there. Especially later in the game where the obstacles begin to border on obscene. Small Mario so easily became Dead Mario. And Dead Mario is a sight most saddening. Because on my casual playthrough, without save states, without knowing many of the secrets this game holds, without even really using the warp zones, every life was precious. Now, I know that's a lot of withouts, but I imagine that's how most people experienced the game way back when it first released. Before the internet turned secrets into common knowledge, people would grip their NES controllers with sweaty palms, desperate to finish out the game, clutching every coin, clawing for one-ups, locked in an adrenaline-fueled battle for completion, not knowing that it would be a lot easier if they just jumped on this one turtle for a long time, or if they went down two pipes to skip almost the entire game. Super Mario Bros. Before modern tools was tense. I don't even want to think about how many players had their runs ended at the very last level of the game because they couldn't find the right pipe and were left running right until time ran out, wishing they had some sort of writing to tell them where to go, watching the clock tick down and hearing the music speed up as they struggle to get through a maze. Why, Nintendo? On the last level? That's not alright. Back then, a sizable amount of time and energy were tied to each playthrough, each attempt at thwarting Bowser, and in that sense, mistakes in-game costed players dearly. It's not as brutal as something like Ninja Gaiden, but Super Mario Bros. Does demand a fair amount of precision from players for completion, and failure to meet that demand always comes with a hefty price. Super Mario Bros. Doesn't enjoy punishing you, but it will without hesitation. I can't believe it's weird to think that a game like Super Mario Bros. Caused me fear. It's such a playful little platformer. There are turtles to jump on and mushrooms to eat. The colors are bright, the enemies are silly looking, but there is nothing playful about falling into a bottomless pit on one of the last worlds and getting a game over. Mario ain't about that harsh punishment anymore. I mean, in the first place, is it even possible to make a modern platformer with a focus on tension and stress? There is one thing that's kind of a disgrace. A part of his past he wishes to erase. This guy's life must have been in a weird place. 'Cause what the fuck was up with Bowser's face?